Hello and welcome to episode 169 of the Pixel Street podcast. If you didn't
Nice.
know, this is the show where each and every week John says nice to the number no matter what it is. No, this is the podcast where we talk about nerd shit and video games, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. It's like 99% video games. The other 1% is when Connor comes on and starts talking about being a brony.
Yeah, brony stuff, some like anime weeb shit. Like, ooh, look at this melty blood game. Ooh, it's so good.
Them's fighting herds. He talks about that a lot. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we're about. We talk about games, we talk about news, what we've been playing, what we don't want to play, equally as much probably.
I'll tell you what I don't want to play right now, Among Us on the Xbox Series X. Holy
Yeah,
crap, that's
we'll
a
talk
terrible
about
port.
we will talk about that when we talk about what we've been playing because oh yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit here. But as always, I'm your host Joel Campos. Joining me this week is none other than John Hansen, who absolutely obliterated a fucking stuffed elephant in It Takes Two this week.
Oh, and it was so good, I'd do it again.
Yeah,
Be sure to check out
that
our It
game.
Takes Two gameplay. We're back at it.
It If you have not played It Takes Two, it is on Game Pass right now. Highly recommend playing it. Me and John are a little more than halfway through with the game. I think. I think we only have like 4 missions left, but
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll
check
have
out
it
our Let's
done
Play
by the
series.
we'll be done with it by next show.
Next short, or the show after that, one of the two.
No, it's got to be next show because next show is our game of the year talk.
I think we should save that for the following week because I'm
Nope.
gonna have time to play games the following week.
Sorry, we already scheduled this all out. We said
When,
2 weeks
when did we
before.
schedule it?
We did this weeks ago. We talked
No, I
about
don't
this.
think so. I
We
don't
said,
think so,
"Oh,
John.
you yourself." I said, "Oh, we're gonna do a game of the year show on the last show of the year." You're like, "No, let's do the week
Well,
before,
yeah.
and then the
No,
final week will be our looking forward to the next year show." That's what you said.
or we could push him back an extra week because I really want to give that fucking Deathloop game another shot, and I'll have time next week, so I'll have a 4-day weekend.
All right, then you're coming up with topics for next week because I've got nothing.
All right, cool. I'll figure something out.
All right,
I'll talk about why I didn't want to play Deathloop again.
all right.
But yeah, either way, feel free to go follow us at Pixel Street on Twitter, where you can check out our pinned tweet to find all of our socials, including YouTube. Which, if you're watching this stream right now, you can see our beautiful YouTube channel, youtube.com/Pixel Street Videos. Yeah, it's beautiful. You can see we got our It Takes Two Let's Plays up there, our Game Awards live stream, my full playthrough of Halo Infinite, which I did it all in like I started playing at like 4:30. I took a break at one point for like an hour, and I came back and I played until like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was up and streaming again the next day, the next morning.
Yeah,
So
we'll
yeah,
get back. We'll get back to putting shorter content on the channel here soon. I've got some plans for stuff I want to make. It's just a matter of finding time and the willpower to do them.
yeah. But yeah, also you can find invites to our Discord in the description of this podcast below and on our pinned tweet as well. We'd love to have you. Our last PAL party night was Halo Infinite, right? Like 2,
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, something like
Um,
that.
but yeah, with new Halo game modes, I definitely want to do another Halo PAL party night. Hopefully this time we can get enough people to do a custom game because I would love to try out some custom games in Infinite because
Would
I
be
have not
fun.
done that yet.
Yeah.
Um,
I also think we should hold off on that until Forge. That's when the good stuff will come out.
true. Um, but yeah, this week we're going to be talking about the Game Awards, some of the stuff we saw, some of the stuff we were hoping to see and didn't see, and about whether or not we think Sonic is relevant anymore as a character, or if he can stay relevant. John's hoping he does, so he's just going to say yes regardless. Um,
We'll have to see when we talk about it.
but yeah, which is what, right fucking now?
Right fucking now, let's do it. Can 2022 be the year that Sonic the Hedgehog proves he is still a gaming icon? If you guys didn't know, ever since Sonic the Hedgehog made the jump to 3D games, things have been a little unsteady. Now, I am a huge defender of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, and also Sonic Generations. That game is great. But there's a lot of bad in there. We got, let's see, you got Sonic Boom, The Rise of Lyric, Sonic '06, which was the first video game I ever played, and I was like, this game's bad. Like I was always so like just forgiving of games that I was like, oh, I can see past everything. And Sonic '06 was the first game where I was like, no, this is not a good game. I do not like this at all. Um, so yeah, so in 2022 at the Game Awards, we saw the first trailer for the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie. We got introduced to Tails and Knuckles, mostly Knuckles. We'd already been introduced to Tails in the previous movie, and we also have Sonic Frontiers, which we got a first look at, which is going to be. They didn't when they were talking about it. They said it's not exactly an open world game. They called it open zone. So what I take that as is
Like Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey.
yeah. Odyssey, maybe something like a bigger Mario 64, where you like jump into the zone and then you just have a playground to play on. That's the way I took it. Whether or not I'm right about that, we'll see.
I mean, that's
But
literally what it sounds like that they described.
yeah, pretty much. Um, so yeah, I'm very excited for both of these. I love the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I also am just so ready for something new in the games. While I love Sonic Mania, I think it's the best Sonic the Hedgehog game ever. I'm really tired of just like the throwbacks to Sonic's 2D days, because I think he can be good in 3D. Like I've said, I love Adventure 1 and 2 and I love Generations, but I'm so tired of the boost formula. I'm just ready for something new, and that's what this is. So we've seen Sonic like running around, getting hit by some digital strain thing. There was a voice calling out to him. Apparently, it was Amy Rose, so he's gonna try and save Amy in this game, and probably other friends as well, because we never saw Tails or Knuckles in the trailer either. Yeah, it's very exciting to get something new in Sonic the Hedgehog, and really, from all the reception I've seen online since the Game Awards, people are interested in what Sonic Frontiers is bringing to the table. Now, obviously, there's huge like Breath of the Wild vibes here. Like they even did the behind the back shot of him like looking out into the distance and
Yeah,
everything
that
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 every game is doing
literally
now.
every game has done since Breath of the Wild did
Yeah.
that.
Um but that's not a bad thing.
Including the Halo Infinite campaign menu.
That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if it will be like a revolutionary game in general in the gaming industry, but just getting a good Sonic the Hedgehog game again is just going to be so important for the series. Obviously, 2021 was the 30th year of Sonic the Hedgehog. He's not going away anytime soon, no matter how many bad decisions Sega makes with him. But I just want to see him brought back in a better light with the game, with the gaming community in general, not just Sonic fans, because Sonic fans we know are very passionate about Sonic the Hedgehog. They will defend all those really bad games that are just objectively bad. They were rushed, they were not given the proper time to like be good or anything. Like it there are just bad parts about these games, and there are people that defend them to their last dying breath because Sonic the Hedgehog. But I just want to get back to a day where we can be like, yeah, man, Sonic's so cool. Like, I don't even need it to be like a game of the year contender. I just want a good Sonic game. That's all I want.
Hold on. So, John, you know Sonic a lot better than I do. Like,
Yes.
I have a very brief history with Sonic. Like, I think I played one or two of them on the Genesis when I was really young. Like, I don't even remember which ones they were. And I played Sonic Adventures 1 and 2 on the Dreamcast.
Mhm.
Um, this new one, I remember I just had up on the stream if you're watching. They had the teaser that showed like Zap, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, is it called Zap? Like, what is that? Do you remember that?"
Mhm. Yeah.
What
I thought it
what
was
does
called
that have?
Zap for a longest
Ex,
time.
ex, exactly. And now they came out and said it's called Frontiers, right?
Mhm.
And so, what was that Zap thing? Like, do you think that they're
Oh
going to
no.
go into like the ancient origins of this land?
I no, Zap might have something to do with that digital electricity current. Maybe that's what that thing is called. I don't know. Because even when we saw that Zap trailer, there were like leaks and everything that the game at the time was called Sonic Rangers. It wasn't even called Sonic Zap then. So
Hmm.
who knows what's going on with the Zap thing? We'll probably find out in the year to come. But yeah, it very clearly says Zap to me. Like it's in a weird like style, but yeah, I have no idea what else it could mean. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, like I said, my history with Sonic, right? Like, not very extensive. Like, I'm not looking forward to this new Sonic game. You know what I mean? And
No, yeah.
I feel like for Sonic to be relevant again, they need to get people like me who play a lot of games every year. Who look forward to most of these games. They need to get somebody like me excited for it. And I
And
feel like
the only
what
way
we've
they
seen
can
so
do
far
that,
is not doing anything for me. Like, I need to
well,
see actual gameplay. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, it was just a reveal and everything. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. For like the overall general community to get back in, the first thing they have to do is release a good game. Like, because people like me are gonna buy it at launch regardless. Like you might not. Like, you're probably not going to unless you see something that impresses you, something that is getting very good reviews, and you can like pick up on a holiday sale, and you're like, you know what, I'll give it a try. That's what they have to do. They just have to focus on the good game first. Because the big thing with Sega is that they're always rushing games out. They always just never take enough time to finish their games. That's really what it comes down to with Sonic's biggest blunders is that they were rushed, they were unfinished, like they just didn't give them enough time in the oven. So I'm just hoping the game looks gorgeous right now from what we saw from the reveal. It looks gorgeous, the best Sonic has ever looked graphically. Man, I hope that gameplay is good though. I really
Yeah, like
cuz just running around with we've never had a Sonic game where we can just run around in open field. Like that's just exciting to me.
yeah, I agree, but for me, like half of the fun in Sonic are like the ramps and the like loop the loops, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And in this open world, like you don't really see much of that.
Yeah, we've also could have just seen like one world and there's multiple.
True.
I'm with you. The ramps and loop de loops have to be in there somewhere because that is a part of a Sonic game. It can't just
It
be flat. Like it
Yeah,
can't just
and
be
I hope
flat with like hills and stuff.
yeah, and I hope it's part of this open world and not just like, like a subsection, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, where like you go into a mission and there are all the loop de loops because you can only go one direction or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah. No, there's a ton of questions still about the game, but I'm very excited. I'm very excited to hear Idris Elba as Knuckles in the movie. Um,
Yeah.
they got the Tails voice actor in the game, voice actress in the games to reprise her role in the movie, which why not just do that with the other guys too if you got her?
Yeah,
Whatever.
why not do that for the Mario movie too? If you literally have all
Right.
them.
Well, they literally have Charles Martinet in the movie, but they didn't give him Mario.
Not yeah.
Uh, Regardless, I'm excited. I can't wait to find out more. 2022 is just going to be a massive year in general. There's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. True. Moving on, John. Who are you missing at the Game Awards?
Yeah,
Not
so
Zelda. Not Zelda.
I was so sure we were going to get a Breath of the Wild 2 name reveal or something. Just anything. Like Nintendo was barely there at all. Like what did they do? They had like a couple trailers being like, "Hey, the Nintendo Switch is still a thing." And then Doug Bowser went up and accepted Metroid Dread's reward that it won. I think it was best action game. Um
Wait, hold on. So Breath of the Wild 2, so far we just know it as Breath of the Wild 2. Like, is it going to be called something else or Breath of the Wild
yeah,
2 semicolon something
no,
else?
it's called something else. It's called The Legend of Zelda blank. We don't know yet. At the
Oh,
moment, all they are saying is the
it'll
sequel to.
spoiler. It'll be a spoiler.
Yeah, that's their what they're saying. They're saying, oh, right now we are calling it the sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild because the subtitle for the game is a spoiler. Then change
That's
the
so dumb.
subtitle. That's
Yeah.
so stupid.
Or just make it
Oh,
Breath of the Wild 2. Like,
yeah. It,
I
it's
can't wait for it
Nintendo.
to be called like Legend of Zelda Link's Death. Like just something like
Right?
Zelda dies in this one.
Zelda's Resurrection. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot they've shown, like just the two short trailers so far, and we've seen like a bunch of stuff in there. Like we've seen the new Sheikah Slate powers. Link's arm is different. We've seen him falling, his new look and everything. There's like a ton there that we're like, oh yes, yes. And when was the last time we saw any of that? E3. So like we're running on 6 months here with no new news on it. Obviously, it's Nintendo. They decide when they want to show us it. Uh, they're I think all they said was 2022 for the release date. They didn't give like a season or anything. I want to say it was just 2022. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a big direct here in January or February. February, I want to say, is the usual big direct for them. But I was very disappointed to not even see like Splatoon 3. Like Nintendo, we finally know Nintendo has games coming out this next year. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Splatoon 3, of course we mentioned Zelda. Just like anything else to like show off here would have been really cool, but yeah, they were pretty much a no-show the entire night, which was just
Yeah,
disappointing for
I
me
can't
being
think
a
of
big
one.
Nintendo fan.
The only Nintendo thing there was Reggie, and he's not even with Nintendo anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was odd that they weren't there at all, but yeah. Was there anyone in particular you were hoping to hear from and didn't see?
Um, Not really. My expectations were pretty low.
Ah, okay. I would have also liked to see Redfall there, because we know that that game's coming out next summer on Xbox. Um, I want to know more about that game because all we've gotten so far is the reveal trailer for it. We haven't seen actual gameplay. There was those leaks of like screenshots and
Yeah.
stuff, but I want to see the game in action. Um, if that game's supposed to come out in the summer, where else is Xbox gonna like reveal that stuff to us? If it's not the Game Awards, are like I mean they could always do their Inside Xbox show, but so far we've seen those shows aren't really for revealing things. They're just kind of like
Who
talking.
knows? To be fair, it
Yeah,
wouldn't really. It would just be a gameplay reveal, right? It's not like it's a new game being revealed. Like we
yeah,
already know about it.
yeah. I guess they could just throw it up on the internet. They're like, hey, this is what it's like coming out in June.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, and also
John.
I was
Wait,
hoping for Fable, but
oh, Fable. I
yeah,
mean,
I
that's
love
wishful
Fable.
thinking.
That was wishful thinking. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that to be there.
I expect to see Fable at E3 this next year.
I really hope so. I just want to know more about that game.
Same, same.
I'm so excited for it.
But speaking of Xbox series, we saw the Halo TV series,
We
the
did see
first
that.
trailer.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. Like I'll definitely watch it just being the huge Halo fan I am. But like I feel like the Master Chief's armor in that when they show it, it kind of just looks like a fan-made YouTube video to me. But I don't know. I haven't rewatched it since then, so
I don't think there's a way you can get around that. Honestly, I think just whatever because there was a movie back in the day. I think it was Forward Unto Dawn
yeah.
where they had the Master Chief armor, and it yeah, like you just said, it looked like a fan made armor thing, and I just think that's just how it's gonna look every time because the Master Chief armor doesn't look like real armor. It's sci-fi and everything. So I don't know. I mean, it looked fine to me. I would like to see him like moving around in it, how he looks then, because really, I think all we saw was him like kind of like leaning over something, right?
Yeah, and like I think he put the helmet down on the ground. Like I think he was
Yeah,
kneeled or something.
yeah. So uh, definitely want to see like what it looks like with him in action, um, because even with that being like fake and everything, that's gonna be heavy on the actor. I have no idea who's playing him or anything. Um,
I think
I
it's
don't know.
somebody like kind of famous actually. Hold on.
Is it? I
Let
I
me
have
look.
no idea who's in it. The only thing I know is it's Steven Spielberg directing it, right? Or was that the old one that got
That was
canceled?
that was like old. That was like 2013 old or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold
Then
on,
I
I'm
have
looking.
no idea. I have no idea who's attached to
Spielberg
this
might
setup.
be like a producer or something, which I feel like a producer is like such a role to where it's like we just want this guy's name on there. It's like
Yeah, you
we'll give
never
him money.
know what part they actually play.
Pablo Schreiber is playing Master Chief.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, neither have I. Maybe I just saw it on Reddit or something. But yeah, I'm
Gotcha.
wondering like if he's playing Master Chief, does that mean like he's also doing the voice?
Probably.
Mm,
Is there
that
any
that's
mention of Steve Downs in there at all?
well, Jen Taylor's playing Cortana, which is
We
nice.
know
Yeah,
that, but is there any mention of Steve Downs?
I don't think so.
Because I saw nothing about Steve Downs. So yeah,
That
I
kind
would
of
think.
sucks. Like, why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why not let Steve Downs do it? Like, you're never gonna see this
He
Pablo
is the
Schreiber's face
iconic
anyway.
voice.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna be a hard. Unless they're telling a story where it's like a young. No, it can't be a young chief if Cortana's in it. Like, what
No.
the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. When is this supposed to take place?
I don't know, cause like if he has Cortana, it's got to be like the chief as we know him, as we have known him since Halo One.
Yeah. So it's sometime between Halo 1 and Halo 4 because it's Cortana. Um it's just somewhere in there. Like it looked like kind of like Mombasa, I would say. It could have been.
Mombasa.
So maybe Halo 2 time. I don't know. It might also just be like it might be like placed somewhere in between one of the games so that it can be its own story. But it couldn't
Yeah,
be
that.
between Halo 2 and 3 because those are right next to each other.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like in terms of the voice, it's gonna be off-putting, right? Because like we've
Oh
known him
yeah.
as one voice the whole time,
Yeah.
and then
No,
just for
it's
it to
the
be
same
slightly
thing with Chris
different.
Pratt as Mario. It's just gonna be off. I don't
Yeah,
know. But we also haven't heard the voice. Maybe he's a really good Steve Downs
impersonator.
impersonator. Yeah, I don't know. It my they said it was a trailer. That thing was a teaser at best. There was really nothing of substance to take from
Yeah,
that.
I feel like for something to be a trailer, it really has to tell you what it's about in some way.
Yeah, just like give us hints, just anything. This one was like,
You
hey,
know what?
because this Halo series, it's real, guys. Believe us, we have physical proof. That was
You
pretty
know,
much all that was.
if we had Will in here, he'd be able to tell us what chief this is based on the armor.
Probably, but who knows if it's just a fan creation?
A fan creation. Yeah, I don't
Like
know.
you're saying, it looks like a fan armor.
It
So who knows?
does.
Maybe he might not be able to tell.
Maybe not. John,
What's
quick
up?
news. You ready?
All right. First up, a Splinter Cell remake is in the works. Ubisoft have announced it. So, yeah, this isn't a new game. Well, okay, I'm not sure if this is connected because we've had all the leaks and stuff about like a Splinter Cell game in development, but I think there was talk about that being a completely new game, right? Because
I
there
don't
was
know,
stuff like
cause remember like one of the developers or something like tweeted something, and then the next day it like blew up all over the internet, and then he's like, "Haha, I was drunk." Do you remember that?
well, yeah, that I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about earlier this year, like a month or two ago. We were talking about this. What were we talking about? Whatever. Who knows? But this is a remake of one of the games. I haven't seen a name for which one it is, but it's being used in the Division engine, and yeah. So Splinter Cell fans, you finally have something concrete to look forward to. Although he did mention they are very much at the beginning stages of development.
I
So
mean, in that reveal trailer teaser thing, they literally say go to this website to apply to work with us.
yeah. So
So
don't
that shows you
expect
how
it
early it is.
anytime soon. But you at least know it's coming. All right. Next up, Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Odyssey have gotten some crossover content. I think it went live yesterday. I
It
haven't
did.
jumped. I haven't jumped on either to give them a try yet. Very excited for Odyssey to get more content though,
Question.
because
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
Question. Question. Is it the same content in both
I
games?
I didn't look too hard into it. I don't believe so. I believe
That's okay. That's really cool then.
so Odyssey, I believe, got a couple missions, and maybe it just like leads into Valhalla. How Cassandra got from Valhalla into, or how she got from Odyssey into Valhalla. Even though if you've played the games, you already know how, kind of. Um, but I have seen like screenshots of like both Ivor and Cassandra in like the same
Yeah,
area and everything.
looks
I
cool.
definitely want to give it a try. This will probably be the thing that gets me to download Valhalla again because I haven't played it since I beat it.
Launch.
Yeah. So maybe I'll jump back in and give this a try because I Cassandra is my favorite assassin and
Same.
Odyssey's my favorite game in the series.
So I'd be interested to look it up first because like it'd be good to know, whether you need to play one before the other.
Yeah, maybe I'll just download both just in case. I have the space. Next up, the Nintendo Switch was the best selling console in November. Not really that surprising because of the chip shortages for the PS5 and Series X and everything. Don't read
To be
into
fair,
sales for anything right now, but
I
it's good to see
I know
Nintendo still doing good.
I know the Series S has been selling a lot too, and I think that's mainly
Mhm.
because there are more of them available than the
Yeah.
Series X.
Yep. That's really all it comes down to. It's just no one can keep it stocked for long. Um, Keanu Reeves thought it was nice people made mods to have sex with him in Cyberpunk 2077. Apparently, he was disappointed when CD Projekt Red took it down.
I'm sure you could still find it somewhere.
Probably someone could make
It,
another
it's
one.
it's the internet.
Yep. And then last on quick news, Nintendo is building a new development studio in the building of its old headquarters. So that's interesting. No idea what they'll be focused on or anything. It's just a new studio for Nintendo, which is always exciting stuff to talk about. All right, Joel, you want to play a game? I don't really have a game for us. We're going to play a game called Let's Make a List.
Okay.
So, this is just going to be a discussion pretty much. What we are going to do, we're going to make a 10-point list of video games that define us as a gamer. Let's do 5 each. So, 5 games
Okay.
that you let's define what defines you as a gamer. This could be something that the if you think about this game, you're like, oh yeah, that's a game I would jump to. If you think about yourself in general, you're like, yeah, that's one of my favorite games of all time. So like it's not necessarily your favorite games, but like something that encapsulates what you love and adore as a gamer. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything off the top of your head?
Halo 2.
Halo 2. All right. Go on. Well,
Like,
why does Halo 2 define you as a gamer?
well, like it's the first game I like religiously played multiplayer, so I think that's
Mhm.
kind of why I'm so invested in like my rank in different games, like playing competitively online against other people. I don't know. Like I used to use Halo 2 as like a chat room back in the day too with my buddies. Like before there was Xbox Live Party Chat, everybody had Halo 2. Like that was the
Mhm.
big deal. And so, I don't know. Halo 2 just holds fond memories in my noggin here, and yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think it just all of my competitiveness in games gets brought back to Halo 2. Like that's where it all started, right?
Yeah.
So, for me, that's definitely one of them.
That is an age of gaming I think I'll always feel sad that I missed out on because I didn't get into online gaming until the 360 days. I never even had an original Xbox. Um, so I'm kind of sad I missed out on those days, but I can see that. I'll go with something similar for my first one. I mean, it's a game I've talked about numerous times on the podcast, Overwatch, but not for the reasons you may think. So I love Overwatch because of the cooperative nature of the style. Not I played so much competitive in that game before I took a break from it and everything. Like it's insane how much time I have put into that game. For about 3, maybe 4 years, I was playing that game almost every single day. So it's just a game that when I think of, I'm like, yeah, I love the symbolism behind it's a colorful world that some bad stuff is happening in, but there's some light in there. We have all these heroes and everything that come out and they work together to fight Talon, the bad guys and everything. And yeah, that stuff isn't like directly linked into the gameplay or anything, but I just love the comics. I love the animated shorts. I'm still dreaming of a animated series someday for it. Um yeah, I love that world and I think just the general like cooperative nature of playing it is so damn good that if I think of like all the games that I enjoy playing, it's like mostly solo games because that's just the kind of gamer I am. Um, Overwatch is the one that I'm just like, oh hell yeah, let me at that with anyone. I mean, that's where I met Connor is Overwatch. So yeah, Overwatch is definitely my first one. Got anything
So
else?
yeah, so my second one I'll bring up is Rush 2 on the N64.
Okay.
Um, this is like the first racing game I got super into. Like I was going, so they had collectibles and they were Mountain Dew cans because they had a partnership with Mountain Dew because it was the
Hmm.
'90s and that's what you did. You just
Yeah.
partnered with like some
It,
random ass
if
brand.
it was either the '90s or you're a Kojima game, you have a you have some kind of partnership in there.
Yeah. But yeah, like I went through and got like every collectible in the game multiple times too, because like there'd be times like back in the day you would lose a memory card, right? That like for your N64, so you just start over, shit like that. But then they also had it was called fuck, what was it called? It was I think it was just Stunt Track. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
All right. While you're looking that up, I want to
It
give a shout
is
out. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, it was Stunt Track, and all it is it's just like a big square, and me and my brother, and we would just play like two player, and it would be whoever can get the highest score. And the way you get how the highest score is going off all these different weirdly shaped ramps, and you have to land them to get points. So in
I
order to
might have
get
played this
points,
game. I need to look up
ty-
gameplay for it.
type in Rush 2 Stunt Track on YouTube, and you will find it.
Is
Um,
it is it uh is it like, oh my god, this is the game I was thinking of. Oh my god, thank you so much.
Dude, I
So
I bought this game on N64 just to play this track. Like this is like I probably put 90% of my time I played this game into this track. And
okay.
all you would do is go off these ramps and you would have to land them to get points and it was like,
Mhm.
at the when the timer goes out, whoever has more points wins.
Okay.
But it was
So
so addicting.
I played this game at a friend's house when I was very little, or at my neighbor's house apartment. And I remember I went off a ramp once and I hit a glitch or something, and I went like straight up and I just kept floating up into the abyss. That's
Yep.
like the big thing I always remember with this game. Um, I remember enjoying this game a lot. I was actually thinking about it earlier this week and I could not remember the name of it. I am so happy you reminded me. I'm gonna buy this for my N64 this week,
Oh,
probably.
you definitely should. It's so much
Yeah.
fun. So much fun.
Yeah.
But yep, like that's a theme I'm finding with these games that I'm thinking of is like this really brought me and my brother together cuz we would play like hours on hours of this stupid fucking test track just trying to beat each other in it. But yeah, ton of fun. Ton of fun.
Yeah. It's looks like it's going for around 20 on eBay so far. I'll definitely look into that. All right. Oh, I'm so happy right now. Next up, my next game, Breath of the Wild. I mean, Breath of the Wild is such a massive game. There's so much to do. I still call it one of the smartest games I've ever played because you can go at a problem so many different ways. I remember when that game first came out, everyone was telling different stories about how they completed each project. Say there was like an electricity problem, you could like move things together and get a current going, or you could just like set down metal weapons and they would chain through them and get it going. Like just stuff like that. The whole general discourse around Breath of the Wild 2 when it first came out was amazing. It was something that you've never really seen in the gaming industry. Um, well, okay, you've seen it, but not much. Like you could think of like Pokemon Go as like another time that when that game was as big as it was when it first came out, that was an event. That's what Breath of the Wild was when it released. Just everyone talking about this amazing adventure, and it was such a leap forward for Zelda. It was so different from anything in the series in the past, and just it was just everything I wanted for the series. So yeah, that's just the cut myself off from going on about this much longer. Zelda Breath of the Wild is just Ah, I love that game so much.
So my next one is gonna be Last of Us Part Two. Like,
Okay.
while I don't think it was my game of the year that year it came out, but
Last
it
year.
like, yeah, last year. It like, I don't know, that game engulfed me as a person. Like, I spent a
Really?
whole weekend when it came out playing through the entire thing.
Hmm.
Because like I said, like most of the stuff I play is all multiplayer, right? Like I play like
Yeah.
single player stuff just to get the story, and play it. But this game like really fucking set its hooks in me, and I don't know, I just love that game. I thought the story was great.
That one surprises me. I knew you liked it, but because I remember when that came out, it was me, you, and Connor, and we were like talking the entire weekend about the game because we were just like running through it as fast as we could to avoid spoilers, if I remember right.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. All right. My next one, Super Mario 64. This one is easy to encapsulate. My first ever video game was also one of the best video games ever made. Like it's just
He set the bar high.
it did, and really, it just cemented my love for video games, and I just never went back from there. Like, I try to think, like, what if the first game I ever played was like Superman 64, and I'd been like, "Wow, this game sucks."
Video games are boring.
Oh yeah, I'm going outside. Nope. Yeah. So I have so many memories. I've played through Mario 64 so many times through my life. Who knows if it's even worth like counting up. That's how many times.
For me, my next one, it's not going to be a specific video game. It's going to be just midnight releases of games in person,
Uh, I like
games
it.
and
Do
consoles.
it. I like it.
Because like we're never going to live in that age again, right? Like
No.
maybe if a console comes out, you'll go to a midnight release, right? If you really want it at midnight, I don't like, it's
Yeah.
still a big if. I know, but like nowadays, like back in the day, like if you wanted Halo 3, you'd go at midnight, right? When it came out, you're just around like dozens of like-minded people. Everybody's excited for the game. The energy's up, like just so exciting. Just talking to people that like shit that you like. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, like even for like the new Madden and stuff. Like you know when you're going there for this midnight release, every single person that's there is there because they love what you love,
Yeah.
and
They're
like
not
they're
going there
just,
just because they're like, oh, that's an okay game.
yeah, exactly, and like there's just not going to be anything like it again. Like with the digital
Mhm.
age, like as unfortunate as it is, like yeah, me and John can go sit in a party chat and be like, okay, the game's out now, like at
Yeah.
11 o'clock at night, but
Hmm.
it's just not the same as just like being around a bunch of strangers and the energy's high, everybody's excited. So shout out to midnight releases of games in person.
The midnight release that sticks out the most for me is Modern Warfare 3, because I went to my GameStop and it was a pretty big GameStop because usually I think of GameStops in like strip malls and everything, where they're not that big. This was like one that was pretty big, and the entire it was standing room only. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
completely filled up. I just remember like talking with people about it and just how excited we were for the game, and it actually turned out being a really good game at that. Yeah, there was yeah, I'm with you. That does kind of suck that we probably won't ever see that. When I was working at GameStop a couple of years ago, we would see them every now and then, like big lines of people. The big one I remember is there was something that released the same night as Kingdom Hearts 3. I can't remember what it was. Something big, but they people were very excited for it, and maybe it was just Kingdom Hearts 3. No, because I was the one that was excited for Kingdom Hearts 3. I can't remember, but
I'm
yeah,
looking.
it still happens. Well, okay, before the pandemic, it still happened every now and then at GameStop, but uh, it even like pretty exciting
Oh, it was
releases.
Resident Evil 2, John.
That
Nope.
was it.
Was that it?
It must have been because I remember
Um,
we were like dressed up in Resident Evil stuff, right? Or no, that was a different night. No, maybe
because this says Resident Evil 2 came out January 25th and Kingdom Hearts came out January 29th. So you could just have them both in your head as like the same week.
Maybe. Maybe. Um, yeah,
But those are
but
the only two big games around that time that came out.
okay. Regardless, those were both very exciting video games, and people were super pumped for them. And that's the last thing I can remember for like midnight releases. Like everything else, people aren't really excited for Call of Duty anymore. Battlefield, not really. There's maybe Cyberpunk if that had come out before the pandemic. That one probably would have done it. But like
Yeah,
looking
for sure.
forward, Elden Ring would have done it, but not much else. I don't know. It
Maybe
sucks, but
Starfield.
yeah. Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah. My next game, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Not even really for the game itself, just the whole crossover thing, because I am a massive fan of crossovers. Uh, a video game or a trailer that I always go back to. I love watching the Nintendo Store reactions to the
Yeah,
Everyone Is Here trailer.
that is amazing.
It is amazing to watch. It's just the hype and everything. So like the game itself, I love. I mean, I got Banjo Kazooie and Smash, hell yeah. But just watching the excitement and all of those people going absolutely insane for the reveal of every single Smash character is returning. Plus, there's more down the line. Like that was amazing, and it's a memory I'm always gonna have. It's just a definitive memory for me.
Yeah, I think
All
I'm
right.
all tapped out of
Yeah,
games that define me.
yeah, that's probably it for me too. So we'll call it 8. We're good there.
8.
That was a good list. Let us know in the comments though, or on Discord, any games that really speak out to you. Something that you're like, yeah, when I think of video games, this is the game that pops into my mind.
Doesn't even have
All
to be
right,
games. Like let us know
yeah,
experiences you had. Like
experiences.
did your parents did one of your parents surprise you with like a console or something that you were completely unexpecting?
Yeah, was
Something
a
like that.
Christmas present something that just made you go insane, like Pokemon Silver for me. That one made me go insane. And a
Like the
GameCube.
Nintendo 64 kit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nintendo 64.
Was there an E3 presentation that you lost your mind at? Yeah. All right, Joel, do you have any collectibles? Because I do.
I could show off the controller that came with the Series X, the Halo Series X.
I think you already showed that, didn't you?
I showed the Elite
Oh,
controller.
the Elite. That's right. All right, give me a close up of that controller.
All right, so this right here, let me focus it, is the controller that came with the Halo Infinite Xbox Series X.
Mm.
It's black and gold. It looks a lot like the Advanced Warfare controller that came with that limited edition console.
It kind of looks blue in that light.
On the back, it says celebrating 20 years with the Chief and the Zero there. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. That's this controller. I'll probably never use it.
I'll take
as
it.
cool as it is.
All right. My collectible is a Master Chief statue with him holding the sword. This is a Halo Infinite made statue. Who makes this?
It's
I'm not
Dark
sure.
Horse Comics. Dark Horse.
Dark Horse. That's it. So yeah, it's him, and there's a grapple shot and everything. Maybe I'll do a unboxing for this and set it
Do
up
it.
somewhere. I also need to find room for it. That's why it's still in a box. But I'm planning on it. It looks super good. I really like it.
Yeah.
There was an orange sword variant, and I was not into that because like who the hell wants an orange sword?
Well, I think it was technically a red sword, but it looks more orangey.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. What you been playing, Joel?
Sorry, I thought it started like pouring, but it did not. I've been playing Halo Infinite, John. We both beat the game.
Wow. What? Halo Infinite? That came out?
Big surprise. Big surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, we beat the game. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm playing more multiplayer this week because they came out with new playlists that I still haven't really checked out because I'm going through doing my weekly challenges to get them all done, and I haven't had one for any of the new game modes yet. So
I saw something that they did another update with the challenges today, but I haven't looked at it at all.
You don't know what it
So
is?
I have no idea what it is. I just saw that they made another update.
Now,
Um,
now I got to look it up like
yeah.
immediately.
Uh, Halo Infinite. Like he said, we beat it and everything. Are we gonna do a spoiler chat on that?
Yeah, we should
We should.
this
Um,
week sometime.
yeah, we need to get Will in there for that. Um, yeah, Halo Infinite's good. Come back in a couple weeks and we'll talk about our game of the year list and we'll see where it ranks. Um, I I haven't played it much since I beat it. Honestly, I played with you a couple nights ago in multiplayer. Other than that, I haven't really played it since the campaign came out, the multiplayer side. I did go back and I went through and found a bunch of collectibles I was missing in the open world, but because you can't replay old missions, I have a bunch that are just missing still until they put that in, and I'm not restarting the story. Um, so yeah, I'm just kind of like sitting there. Maybe I'll go around and find the broadcast towers or whatever they're called, propaganda towers, I think. Um,
Propaganda towers.
yeah,
If you are trying to get all the collectibles, and you're listening to this, you should. There's an interactive map online that you can use, and it allows
what
you to
website?
sign in. Oh fuck, I don't remember. Let me look.
I know IGN usually has pretty good interactive maps.
This is not IGN. I think it's just like some guy that made it. It's called mapgenie.io.
Okay,
But it's like I was using it to find some audio logs, and it's insanely accurate. So highly recommend
cool,
it if you're looking for anything.
awesome. All right. What else have I been playing? I've been playing Metroid Dread. I have a top 5 Nintendo games of 2021 article that will probably be up sometime next week, I think, is when they said they were putting those up. So you'll see where I put that in other great Nintendo games. Um, just speaking about Metroid Dread, my first Metroid game I've ever played, and I like it. I don't know how many people that have never played Metroid will be into this game. There are a lot of things where it just the style of game it is. It's easy to get lost in and have no idea where you have to go, which is very frustrating to me. I don't like being lost in a video game usually.
Same.
I want to have like a clear definition of where I'm supposed to go. I don't want to just like go through all these different hallways and just luckily find my way to the place I was supposed to go next. So on that point, I'm not crazy. I wasn't crazy about Metroid Dread, but overall, it's a good game. I enjoyed it. Samus is a badass. I'll give it that. Um, yeah, that's really all I have to say on it as of now.
Yeah. Me and John also tried playing Among Us last night on the
Oh my god.
Xbox Series X, and it is surprising that this game was announced so long ago to come to Xbox that I could play it on my phone with no
Mhm.
problems, and there are so many bugs on the Xbox. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like it stutters a bunch. Um, the, Half the games I loaded into, I couldn't do anything. Like I
Mhm.
couldn't go up to the terminals and do any of my tasks. I couldn't interact with anything. It was just such a buggy mess that it made me rage quit the game.
Yeah.
I didn't delete it, but I just closed the
It's
game like
less
right
than a gig
away.
big. You might as well just
Yeah,
keep it on there.
yeah.
Um,
I was like, I'm done with this right now. I'd
yeah.
much rather just go play it on my computer or my phone and have
Yeah.
a much better experience.
Yeah. So I've played it on my Switch with my daughter and everything, and it runs fine there, which is so amazing to me that this is first of all, this isn't us saying that the Series X can't run Among Us. This is us saying the people that ported Among Us to the Series X did a terrible job
Hold
because
on.
as
Did
Joel
you
said,
did you look it up at all? The issues we were having? Because it could just be that the whole game was
it's
like that
there
yesterday.
it's people are having the same issues as us. So I haven't checked today.
No,
So
no,
it
no.
just came.
I know you're saying people, but like, have you checked online in general for Among Us? Because what if it is just an Among Us game problem last night where the
I
servers were
I
fucked up
I also played on Switch with my daughter and it was fine. The
yesterday?
same night. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yesterday. Yeah.
Damn, that sucks.
Um, yeah, it seems to me that the Xbox version just has a bad porting issue. I haven't heard anything about the PlayStation port. I haven't tried it at all, but I highly recommend waiting for an update before you play Among Us. If you're an Among Us fan still, you have so many
Still.
places to play it now. Just play it on your phone or your PC. Like that's honestly the best places to play it.
Yeah, yeah, for real. What else you been playing, John?
All right, so I finished this last week, but didn't get a chance to talk about it because of the Game Awards. I beat Guardians of the Galaxy. Um, I was very frustrated with this game by the end of it. I was so ready for it to be over. I enjoyed it. I think it has great writing and it is a brilliant Guardians of the Galaxy story. That much it nails. And I'm super happy. I think it won a game award for like writing and direction or something like that, right?
Best narrative or something like that,
Best narrative.
maybe.
Yeah, it deserves that because it nails that. But oh my god, the gameplay, I had so many bugs as well in that game where I was getting stuck in environments, I was falling through the floor. Um yeah, I was so ready to be done by the end of it. I still liked it, but I it's one of those games where go back and I look at it and I'm like, I could definitely go for the 100% on this game and get it pretty easily, I think, but I just don't want to deal with it because I had such like a bad memory at the end there that I just don't want to deal with it. Who knows? Maybe someday I will, but yeah, go in for the story, but don't expect anything amazing gameplay wise.
Yeah. The only other game I was going to talk about is It Takes Two, but we kind of already talked about it. So
It's great.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm excited to
Keep-
finish it.
All right, then I will end this off with talking about Evil Genius 2. So this game came out on Game Pass, I want to say a week ago. Um, and it's a lot like 2 Point Hospital, which I think I talked about last year quite a bit when it came to Game Pass, where you're building an evil genius lair and you're like managing your minions and everything, and you have to build these different rooms for them to for your criminal empire to get better in, and agents and everything will like rush into your lair and you have to kill them or capture them and interrogate them or brainwash them to have them join your team. It's a lot of fun, and this is a just like 2 Point Hospital. This is a game where I will sit down and then 6 hours later I look at the clock and I'm like, oh shit, it's been 6 hours. um, I did that. I've done it twice in this week alone. Last night I started playing at 10 and I looked at the clock and it was 4 o'clock. So
Jesus Christ, John.
it's yeah, those games are dangerous for me, especially if they're like so charming, like Evil Genius 2 and 2 Point Hospital. Once 2 Point Campus comes out, that will probably be the same thing with me. I really enjoyed them; they're a ton of fun. Probably best played on PC, but the Xbox version, I enjoy it. But
That's
that's
good.
about all I've got to talk about.
Cool. Well, with that, we are going to end episode 169 of the Pixel Street podcast. Thanks so much for watching or listening to the show. We truly appreciate it. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street, where you can find our pinned tweet to join our Discord. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to us at Pixel Street Videos. Yeah, and that's where you can find exclusive content of us, like unboxings, let's plays, live streams, all that jazz. Be
All
sure
the
to go to our
jazz.
YouTube and check out the It Takes Two playthrough. We have a bunch of videos up now. The first half of the game, John played with Connor, and then I picked up with John where they had left off. So yeah, go check that out. Finally, wherever you're watching or listening to the show, please leave us feedback, whether it's good or bad. Any feedback is good. We want to know what you think of the show. What can we do to improve it? Or what do you like about it? Let us know. Any feedback is much, much appreciated. You can find me on Twitter at Campo63, twitch.tv/Campo63. Yeah. John, where are you at on the internet?
On Twitter, I am at Rivik Shadows, and you can find my writing on GamePer.com. There's going to be Game of the Year discussion articles going up next week for us. Other than that, I'm just writing about random stuff. A lot of Halo, a lot of Minecraft, I think. Yeah, just random stuff because there's just there's no more big releases for about a month. So gotta find something to write
Wait,
about.
what's coming out in a month? Pokemon?
Yeah, Pokemon. I think that's the first big release of 2022. Let me
I
pull it
honestly
up.
don't even know what the fuck that game is.
Eh, I might actually have a feature that I write up here pretty soon about it being okay to admit if you've outgrown Pokemon, but we'll see about that. Oh, Rainbow Six Extraction is also next month, but I have lost all
Nope,
desire to
nothing
play
for
that
me.
game. Yeah.
Nothing for me. But yeah, we'll. Oh, voice crackled. We'll be right back here next week with episode 170 of the Pixel Street Podcast. Bye.
Bye.